And we'll give them this queen. Now I'm going to just pull the cork plug on the candy plug in and allow them to chew through it to release her over the course of the next couple of days. What's going on, bee herders? So we're out in the home bee yard today introducing some new queens to some queenless colonies, some colonies that failed to requeen after swarming. And in the case of this box right here below me, this is one of the splits we made about a month and a half ago, and I've been nursing them along and actually letting them do what we really don't want them to do, so I could make this video a little bit later. So this colony, this nook, had laying workers and had pretty much filled this box up with drone brood. So simply adding a queen to a colony with laying workers is not going to work. In their mind, they have a queen and they will reject any attempt to give them a queen. It takes really two things to suppress the urge for those workers to lay. And that's the presence of uncapped brood and the pheromones and scent that comes from that, and the presence of a queen and her pheromones. It's not just the queen being absent that will cause workers to begin laying. As long as there's capped brood, or uncapped brood, as long as there's uncapped brood, that urge for them to lay will be suppressed as well. So they went queenless for quite a long time, greater than 3 weeks, and we started seeing evidence of laying workers. So most people will tell you, and it's probably really, to overcome a laying worker colony is difficult at best. It takes a little bit of luck and a little bit of technique. But if you look at this frame of brood, notice that it's all drone brood. It's spottily laid, and it's drones being raised in worker-sized cells. So undersized cell for a drone, you'll end up with a bunch of undersized drone because those eggs are being laid by a worker. And there's other signs you can Google. I won't go into everything today that tells you you have a laying worker. Just remember, their abdomen's a lot shorter than the queen. She can't reach the bottom of the cell, and she really doesn't know what she's doing, so it's crazy to look at a cell laid full of worker eggs. So you can shake these bees out. People will tell you a distance away from the colony, and since that laying worker is a juvenile bee who's never oriented, or laying workers, there'll always be more than one, who've never oriented on the colony, they won't find their way back, but that alone is not going to do it. You've got to get serious about how you're going to handle salvaging a colony with laying workers. Here's another frame. It's nothing but drone brood laid by workers in worker-sized cells. So here's what we did. About 10, 11 days ago, I started adding a frame of brood, uncapped brood, returning that pheromone to the colony. No queen, just that uncapped brood. And we'll notice that they did, after a while, start drawing out queen cells. Look, there's a queen cell with larvae in it. Queen cell with larvae in it right there. So after a while, they realized, wait a minute, we don't need these workers laying anymore. and they started trying to raise queens from the eggs that I gave them. But it's not going to happen overnight. This is the second frame of eggs I gave them. This is the first frame of eggs that I gave them. About 6 days apart, if I remember right. I have to go look back and look at the book. But they had drawn two, Mike and I already inspected this, they had drawn 2 queen cells. I tore one off and they were capped already. There's another right there. So we can also notice that on this frame that it does not appear, you can get close to that, it does not appear that there are any eggs laid in there. If we had multiple laying workers in the colony, they probably would have laid those empty cells full already. So it would appear that we have suppressed the urge for those workers to lay. If we look at this frame here again, we can see most of that still brood that I gave them. Notice those cells also do not have eggs in them. The workers laying in there's going to be multiple eggs, kind of shotgun pattern around in the cell, stuck to the side. Totally different than a quality queen is going to look like. So it looks like we've suppressed the laying worker urge, and now will they accept a queen? Well, like I said earlier, if there's a laying worker present, they're not going to accept a queen. They're just not going to do it because in their mind they have a queen. And there's a freshly mated queen in that queen cage. And you can see how excitedly dancing they are on the cage. They're not trying to sting it. They're not trying to chew through it. They realize they do not have a real queen and are doing their best to get one. So we're safe to give this colony a queen now. The only problem I've got is I really don't want to give them all this drone brood to raise here over the next couple of weeks. So we're going to shake these bees off. Do this one vertically. You can see that's just nothing but drone brood, and it's been backfilled with honey. Nectar, I should say, not honey yet. This frame is mostly food, not a ton of drone brood, so we'll let them have this one back. And we'll give them this queen. Now I'm going to just pull the cork plug on the candy plug in and allow them to chew through it to release her over the course of the next couple of days. And we'll give them some couple of frames of foundation. Okay, so that's one way to overcome a colony with laying workers. Doesn't always work out. It's very difficult. Sometimes they're almost just, you can consider them lost causes. But if you get a little lucky and you play your cards right, you can pull it off. We'll get back to you probably about a week with a follow-up on this colony to see if she's been accepted and if she's laying, but I know she's going to be. So until next time, y'all keep on keeping on.